Welcome back to another edition of Stirring It Up with Tia Monique, Kitchen Table Talk. And in today's political news, we have the CEO of Dominion coming in to set us straight. Sit down, grab something to drink, and let's hear what he
Tonight's Dominion Voting Systems threatening legal action against former Trump lawyer Sidney Powell. Attorneys for the voting company used by several states sending a scathing letter to Powell, accusing her of, quote, reckless disinformation about the 2020 presidential election. Dominion says, quote, as a result of your false accusations, Dominion has suffered enormous harm. Its employees have been stalked, have been harassed, and have received death threats. For the safety of Dominion's employees and for the sake of the truth and confidence in American democracy, we demand that you immediately and publicly retract your false accusations and set the record straight. Out front now, John Poulos. He is the CEO of Dominion Voting Systems. And John, look, I'm really glad to have you with me. You know, you're at the heart of this, your company, of so many conspiracy theories about this election, all of them debunked. But I wanted to give you a chance here to take some of these down so our viewers can explicitly hear them and very clearly hear your response. So President Trump says your machines shifted 2 to 3% of Trump votes to Biden, and that you, quote, changed the results of a landslide election. What's your response, John?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Aaron. It's just been an absolute bizarre blizzard of crazy things being said about us. It's been extremely damaging to our company, our employees, and customers. The things being said about us just are not true. And as far as I can tell, I'm the only one that has volunteered to talk about these things under oath. And so ultimately, we are asking for a complete retraction. Ultimately, I guess we'll have to see them in the courthouse.
So many of the conspiracies have centered around Michigan. Now, we know human error there did cause unofficial results in a county to show Biden ahead when Trump actually won. Now, that number was quickly fixed, right? We knew Trump won. The president, though, came out, forget the human error part, which is the fact. He said it was due to software error, not human error. Again, trying to put it on Dominion. What's your response to that? How do you deal with this?
Sure. Well, people keep talking about this, but I mean, our machines are tested all the time. It's hard to think of a more and highly regulated business than ours. There are third-party labs that review all of our source code that are certified and regulated by the bipartisan federal agency, the EAC. But most of all, we have paper ballots. We have one machine that allows voters to create a paper ballot, and then we have another machine that allows the counting of that paper ballot. So some of the bizarre allegations that votes have been sent to Germany or Spain, just to put this into context, the U.S. Army had to get involved to debunk some of these claims. The voted paper ballots remain in the counties. They don't cross county lines, they don't cross state lines, and they certainly don't leave the country. This is what's so bizarre.
It really bizarre. And I want to be clear here, when you talk about paper ballots, you know, that's something, and I've been talking to the voting chief in Georgia again and again, and he's made clear the most secure election in Georgia history, they used some of your voting machines, but they also had a paper ballot trail for every single vote cast in the state of Georgia, which he said they'd actually never had before. So you used the word bizarre. I had saved it for this question, although I don't question your use of it in the context in which you used it, but I had it saved for this one because one of the most bizarre claims out there, John, is that Dominion has ties to Venezuelan dictator Hugo Chavez. Now, Hugo Chavez, of course, died 7 years ago, but this is a claim out there that was getting a lot of oxygen thanks to Rudy Giuliani. Here he is.
The company counting our vote, with control over our vote, is owned by two Venezuelans who were allies of Chavez, are present allies of Maduro, with a company whose chairman is a close associate and business partner of George Soros.
Okay, there's a lot of conspiracy theories in there, but let's just go to the straight one. The company with control over our vote is owned by two Venezuelans, allies of Chavez. Again, Chavez is long dead, but I wanted to give you a chance to respond to this.
Aaron, our company is American. I started it in Toronto, but in 2018, we sold to U.S. investors. I'm not sure what Mr. Giuliani is talking about, but there's no Venezuela, there's no Chavez in Dominion voting, never has. There's no China, and there's no links to Cuba or communism. We are very straightforward, an American company, and something, by the way, that we report to the federal, state, and local governments that we report to. In 2010, while we were still a Canadian company, I underwent a CFIUS process, which is the Committee of Foreign Investment in the United States, just to let them know who we are. Because in 2010, at that point, most of our customers and employees were becoming American and in the United States. So we moved our head office to Denver. And so that was the first time we met with CFIUS. And by 2018, we had decided to sell the company to U.S. investors. So the claims on Venezuela and Cuba and China are just absolutely bizarre.
Right, and I don't mean to laugh in any way that it's funny. I don't. I think this whole thing is tragic and dangerous. But one final question for you, John. The rumors most recently that your company could have been a target in this massive breach of U.S. federal agencies and Fortune 500 companies' nuclear facilities by, they suspect, Russian-linked hackers. And we don't even know the extent of this attack, right? All of those agencies used the same SolarWinds software. So there are questions, did you all use it also? Is it possible that you were compromised and that could have caused compromise to the election that no one's even aware of? Is there any chance you were impacted by this breach?
Sure. Well, you brought up two things. So first of all, it really isn't funny, although as crazy it is, because it does have a damaging effect, not just to our company and our employees, but to our customers and the integrity of the elections, which is a real shame given the strides that had been accomplished over the last 18 years since the creation of the Help America Vote Act. With respect to SolarWinds, the platform of Orion that has been the subject of the DHS note from the other day, we do not use that platform, and we don't use anything to do with that product with our election systems. And so I keep coming back to the paper ballots. There's no tricks that can change our tallies, and even if somebody tried, it would be caught. So I keep coming back to paper, paper, and paper.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, John. Thank you very much. Thank you for going through each of these in detail. I think it's important, and I thank you.
Hello, everyone, and we want to thank you for watching another edition of Stirring It Up with Tierra Monique Kitchen Table Talk. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Political News. Please leave us your opinion at the bottom. Freely express yourself. What do you think about this situation? So guys, if you did enjoy this video, please take a moment, hit the like button, and if you like, subscribe and become a friend. Until next time, bye.